Spotify will be the exclusive home to the comment section starting April 5th.
Who's the most successful person you know? And crypto doesn't count. Fake money doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
Who is the happiest
as far as
person
I know,
you know?
Crypto's like Roblox. It's the same.
What even is Roblox? I don't know either.
It's crypto.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Is it really? I thought it was like Minecraft, like a game.
I don't know. Hey y'all, it's Drew. We're going to take a quick break from this episode to hear from our sponsors at ZocDoc. So, we've all been there, right? You've been stewing over a health problem. You can't shut up about it. You text everyone in the group chat for advice, but no one is really helping. I mean, do you even really expect your group chat to deliver sound medical advice? I think not, babe. But you know who can deliver medical advice? ZocDoc. Thousands of medical professionals literally at your fingertips, ready to listen and give you the expert care you deserve, period. Trust me, there are better ways to get the answers you want instead of doom scrolling through the internet. ZocDoc helps you find expert doctors and medical professionals that specialize in the care you need and deliver the type of experience you want. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. That is amazing. And trust me, when you're not feeling your best and simply just trying to hold it together, finding great care should not take up all of your energy. Book an appointment with just a few taps in the ZocDoc app and you're set to start feeling better ASAP. Go to ZocDoc.com/comment and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/comment, ZocDoc.com/comment. Now back to the show. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Comment Section Show, starring me, your fave. Everybody knows me. Who cares about me? On to the guest. Today's guest is a very highly anticipated person, someone that everyone's been asking for, and she's finally here. The one and only Talia. Woo-hoo-hoo!
They've been asking?
Yes, they have actually.
I'm
dead serious when I say that. I don't say that to everyone because sometimes I pick them. But I actually picked you too.
Really?
I picked you, and every guest I've ever had, I'm like, yes.
That feels good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got the green flag.
But especially lately, you've been very, very highly requested.
Oh, I'm glad. Well,
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot more of the stuff I've been taking more notes from you in recent weeks. We'll get into that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have very similar arcs as far as like our approach to terrible men online.
It didn't start with like you came out with this
Swinging.
being your thing. Yeah, like this was your thing. It did not start as my thing.
Yeah,
and I
that's
don't really
true.
think that it is my thing on TikTok,
No.
but the more comments you see,
Yeah.
the more you spend time in the comment section, it has to become your thing. It's
what's so
drives
funny
you
is
nuts.
like you and I are identical in the sense of like our approach to how we react to it
I know.
with violence.
It's changing soon though, because I'm scared of the violence back. I'm
I feel
scared
that.
of retaliation. Do you get freaked out?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I would say I am conscious of it. And that's why, that's why I've said before, like, that's why people gravitate towards me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've been able to build the community, because it is so terrifying.
Yeah.
Because men are so terrifying.
No,
Like,
you have to be brave.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
It's really scary. And you've seen these like Dockspin, 4chan, whatever.
Yeah.
These guys, I get a fraction of what you probably get, and I don't even make this my brand. It's
Yeah.
brave what she does.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand. The people, these guys are violent, and
Yeah,
they're
they are.
really scary,
Yeah.
and they don't take insults and humor the way that we do. When we attack them, and we'll get into this, we're really jumping in already, aren't we?
Yeah.
But when we attack them, it's like we have a sense of humor about ourselves.
Yeah.
We have a sense of humor about them. We're not saying we're going to kill you. We're saying like you're short and bald and ugly, and then we kind of move on.
Yeah.
These guys don't move on. Their egos get
Yeah.
bruised, and we know what happens with a guy and a bruised ego.
Yeah, literally.
I'm like kind of cutting back on doing sort of the Drew thing because I'm like freaked out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I
Yeah.
get that. I've gotten that from people who have like, they obviously don't do what I do, but they've dealt with comments in this similar fashion where they
Right.
just kind of laugh at them and move on, like you
Right.
said. And then they've asked me like, or they've told me, every guest I've ever had has told me, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you do this. Like,
don't.
it's terrible. Like,
I
I could
don't.
never. I ventured down that path a little bit, and it was horrible. And I went back to my regular scheduled
Right,
programming
right.
because it is not for everyone. I'll say that much.
It's not.
It's
and
hard.
It's a heroic thing, and not
Thank
everybody
you.
has to do it. But what you do, I don't think that people will comment on my stuff like, oh, it's amazing that you do this. It's like, oh, the way that you think of these things or the way that you want to attack them, it must be tiring. I'm like, you don't know what a person like Drew deals with on this scale. If you make it your brand, if you make it like you take on it, it's an act of like, I think it's a very apt example of how to use social media as like a social justice thing. If you're doing something good on social media,
I appreciate that.
You're really doing something very noble, not just by giving women, like making them feel like somebody's speaking for them.
Yeah.
But you're confronting people who are scary, dangerous people, and not to freak out your mom and whoever's watching, but it's a really scary thing. They know.
Yeah.
So
I think that's I think that's why it's important that we find community amongst each other, especially online, because I see it like, not to like gas myself up, but I can take it, so it's not that serious to me in the sense of like, it's not gonna fold me. Like I had a dude make a video about me where he was just saying all this awful shit about what I look like, so it's nothing new. But he was like, "Oh, I'll make you cry. I'll literally make you cry." Blah blah blah. And someone stitched him and was like, "I don't want to be that girl, but like, what are you gonna say to her that she hasn't already heard?" Like,
There's
what?
nothing.
She was like, "This is like her literal job. Like, she's gonna keep going.
Right.
Nothing you say is gonna stop her.
Right.
So like, what exactly could you say at this point?" Which I think is like hilarious.
Right.
First of all,
you develop a very thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
It helps in all aspects of life, and it just makes you scoff at anybody who could think that their idea is going to be the one that breaks you. Like, I'm shocked that people still want to duet you thinking that it'll do something.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think it's going to do? At this point, she's built a career off of this, people. Look at the set. Like, do you think she's going to stop now?
I mean,
It's like kind of a done deal.
Yeah.
Nothing you say is going to make her think, I think I'm done. So just like let it go. But anyway, I don't care. They can say whatever they want. What I'm scared of is not, just to clarify for the boys who may be watching, if they're not.
Yeah.
I am not afraid of you talking about my looks or what I say. I'm scared of you coming to my house with a gun.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about men, that's a possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
With women,
absolutely.
it's not really.
No, it's also like it's one of those things where I think if it's all under the guise of jokes, then let's all laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, I for one,
right.
am a silly goose.
They love dark humor.
I love it. Yeah, that is so true. And you know what? I love to goof and gaff and laugh.
We're just here to giggle.
We're just here to have a silly, goofy time.
Yeah.
Join in.
It's light.
It's okay.
It's
all
just a
it's all
podcast.
fun. It's all games. We're
It's
all
the internet.
laughing.
As
It's
you
fine.
guys like to say, it's not even like a real job. We're just girls on the internet. So let us be girls on the
That's
internet.
true. Like, just for the girls.
Right. We're just having fun.
Let's just do things for the girls.
Yay.
Speaking of girls, being a girl online, you and I have been dubbed mean women. So that's our topic for today. We're talking about what it means to be a mean woman online. I'd say that you and I wrote the book. To be honest.
You know what? For our generation and for this new medium, I think that we're sort of at the forefront of what's becoming like a new wave of media, whatever you want to call it, TikTokers.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think we are some of the early mean women. But it is not a new thing for confident women who just don't allow themselves to be walked all over.
Literally.
To be referred to as mean or bullies. Every female comedian has been called mean, even if that's not their whole gag.
That's not their shtick.
It's just like they make one joke and they're like, mean, Chelsea Handler,
That was so mean.
It's just like, I don't know why. It's also, I think that one of the things plaguing our society, to quote Guillermo del Toro, is the idea of nice. It's a parasite idea. This idea of nice, what does it even mean? What is it? It carries no significance. Just the idea that people have to follow these norms of nice and nobody really knows what exactly makes somebody nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind. I'm a good person at heart.
That's what I've said too.
I'm not going to try to convince you that I am.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to waste my time trying to act palatable.
Yeah.
And if I were a guy, I don't think anybody would call me mean. I think they'd call me very outspoken and very confident.
I think they'd call me hilarious.
Hysterical.
I'd be so funny.
Oh, fearless,
So
funny.
There you
Oh
go.
my God.
I'm just a boundary pusher.
Right.
You know
We'd be
what I
like
mean?
little Larry Davids over here. Instead, we're like devil women.
Yeah. I think to your point about being nice, it's nice. The act of being nice is like a self-serving act.
Right.
Because it's it's for other people to perceive you as nice. It's not because you're actually a good person.
Right.
It's like, this is going to make me look so nice if I do this. So that's inherently self-serving. And that's also, it's not a kind thing to do.
And if anything,
So
if
that's
this
for
whole,
you.
that's exactly. And if this whole thing of like becoming part of a community of content creators or comedians or whatever you want to call it has taught me anything, it's that people whose entire brand is quote unquote nice, they're not. They never are. Okay.
Yeah.
We learned this with Ellen and James Corden and whoever, but also it trickles all the way down to like your favorite stand-up comedians, your favorite lifestyle influencers who are all like cuddly and sweet and like they're the least likely to be approachable in public. They're the least likely to do a favor for a friend now that they have a platform. They are not kind. I don't want to generalize, but it's just your safest bet is if you're looking for people. First of all, nobody has to be nice to you. You don't have real relationships with the people that you watch online. So who cares about their personality?
It's all parasocial,
But if you're looking for people who you really want to believe are like, oh, they're sweet, they're kind, they're good people, they're not mean.
Yeah.
Look towards people who are not pretending to sugarcoat for the camera behind which there's no actual people.
Yeah, it's like those videos where they're like, I'm gonna film myself giving this homeless person money. It's like, why?
Why?
Like, you could still do that. You don't have to document it. It's the same thing.
That's insane.
It's the same thing.
It's a whole new category of entertainment,
well,
too.
and then you put it on YouTube and you monetize it. Like, that's a self-serving act. That is not a selfless act, which is inherently kind, right? So I've like talked about that before because like my online presence is one aspect of my personality. It's not the whole thing.
Exactly.
Which is what we say all the time. I'm like, you see me laughing at terrible shit ass dudes. That doesn't mean that's what, like, some people are like, oh, are you just doing this all the time? Like in a nice way. They're like, oh, do you do this all the time? I'm like, no, because I don't hang out with people like that. Like, you would be shocked, like, to see me in real life and talk to me in real life. I'm not like that all the time. Just like there are some people who are the opposite of me. Like, they're very calm online and they're very soft-spoken, and then in real life, they're like kooky, crazy. They love to have a good time.
Do people think you just walk down the street like shoulder-checking dudes? That
all the time. They literally think I'm like waiting to be mean to people all the time, which is like not the case. I'd never get anything done.
People think I walk around and I can't hang out with people because my whole thing started with like things I hate. Here's a list of things I hate. Yeah. They think that I sit and the way that I connect with people is I'm like, so what do you hate today? I'm so pissed, blah, blah, blah. It's an outlet.
Hey, y'all, we're going to take a quick break from the show to hear from our sponsors at ZocDoc. So we've all been there before, right? Where you have a weird medical issue, you're obsessing about it, you get deep in the Reddit threads to try and find a cure, maybe you text all your friends, but weirdly, no one and nothing is helping. And that's because you're stuck in the rabbit hole, babes, but do not fear, ZocDoc is here. With ZocDoc, you've got thousands of medical professionals at your fingertips, ready to listen and give you the expert care you deserve, period. When you find the right doctor, trust me, you can feel it. There's honestly nothing worse than going to the doctor's office and expecting to be the center of attention, only to realize your doctor would rather be elsewhere. With ZocDoc, you'll find quality doctors who listen, take their time, and prioritize your care. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. When you're not feeling your best, finding great care should not take up all of your energy. Book an appointment today with a few simple clicks in the ZocDoc app and start feeling better right away. You can go to ZocDoc.com/comment and download the ZocDoc app for free, then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/comment, ZocDoc.com/comment. Now back to the show.
And for some reason, people are able to understand when another type of public figure, a politician, an actress, whatever, they get that they're multifaceted. You wouldn't go up to Timothée Chalamet and be like, so did you really eat the peach or whatever? Like, it's not like they're not their characters. And people seem to get that. But with us, it's like they really do think that we are this persona, and all I do all day is sit around and rage at men, at everything.
I'm like, how do you think I would have gotten this far in life if I just sat around doing that all day? I'd have no time for anything else.
No friends, no family.
Friends. Yeah, I'd have no interpersonal relationships.
Dare I say I do this persona online so that I may be normal.
Be more palatable to life.
It's like I get it out of my system. I encourage everybody to do what we do.
Well, and it's also like, it's true.
Right.
It is infuriating.
Right.
It's so frustrating to see this shit all the time. Like we deal with it all the time silently. Here's a perfect example. I was at Disneyland the other day. Literally yesterday.
You're gonna tell me about misogyny at Disneyland?
Yeah, well, not even misogyny, just someone being rude.
Right.
Someone
Okay,
being outwardly rude and me being like, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I was like standing with this girl. I was like, oh my God, like I'm such a big fan. Like, can I take a picture? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. She takes a picture with me. Her friend, no idea who I am. That bitch doesn't know me, not even a little bit.
Sure.
This is context for the story. Her friend is white. She is not. She's some sort of minority. I think she might have been like, well, she's brown like me. Her skin is brown like mine. So we're both brown. That's important context for the story.
Okay.
So I'm taking a picture with the girl. Her friend, like my boyfriend's taking the picture. He's like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Her friend walks up. She goes, I honestly have no idea who this is. Like to my boyfriend, right? And she goes, I don't know anything about this. Like, is this like just a brown bitch thing or what? Girl, huh? I'm sorry, what?
She did not say that.
Yeah. She's like, is this a brown bitch thing?
And brave of her to do that to a person with
she says that
millions
in
of
front
followers.
of me. A brown person, her friend, a brown person, and my boyfriend, also a brown person. And then my boyfriend was shocked. Like he's taking the picture and he goes, and then he literally goes, yep, for sure. And then he just takes the picture and he goes, have a nice day. And we're like, nice to see you. See you later. We walk away. I'm like, what the That is so incredibly rude and racist. What did I do? Nothing.
Nothing.
I didn't say anything to her. I was just like, okay.
If you're watching this, do you know how lucky that person is that you didn't pull out your phone right there? She has millions of followers.
That's what I was like.
Okay?
Okay.
The nerve to do that in front of someone you know your friend is freaking out. You know that this person has a platform of some kind. And you're going to be racist in front of her. But I understand.
Just to say that like as if you are my friend.
Right.
Like, if your friend's cool with that, cool.
Right.
You're not my friend.
Right.
So to say that to me
right.
is a risk. That's a dice roll.
No.
But that's a perfect example of me encountering some sort of weird antagonistic violence.
Right.
And then I'm just like, okay. And I just move on. Like I literally was like, that was so incredibly rude. And my boyfriend was like, I know.
What I do understand, not the racist part, but the part where she felt the need to humble you and say, I don't know who this is. I wouldn't do it. I think it's ridiculous. But I see the insecurity that comes from.
Yeah.
I feel like
do you
sometimes
get that?
when you
I've gotten that a lot.
Yeah, people like
all the time.
Their friends will freak out and be really lovely and nice. And then it's like,
Yeah.
I don't expect the entire friend group to come up. You don't have to get a picture with me if you don't want to. Like, that's fine. But you don't have to say out loud, like, I don't know who you are. Like, I'll be like, okay.
I don't know anything.
Fine.
I don't have TikTok at all.
Right. But I think it comes from a place of wanting to, they see somebody who is succeeding, who is cool in that 30-second moment.
Degree.
And they have to humble them. It's like a weird insecure. I just write it off as insecurity. I think that this girl,
it's a projection.
on top of being racist and outwardly not afraid about it,
I was just like,
was very deeply insecure about you being famous and wanted to be like, well, I don't know who she is. And that's fine. I'm cooler than that. I don't know who she is.
And I've gotten that many times, like from men too. Like sometimes their girlfriends will freak out, and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't even watch TikTok," and I'm like, "That's cool.
Okay,
congrats."
First
like,
of all, the boyfriends all know who you are, and they're on a Reddit snark page about you. 100%.
Some boyfriends actually come up to me for their girlfriends, which I always find very sweet.
That's lovely.
That happens to me a lot. I've had lots of husbands and boyfriends. I've had a couple dads come up to me. Like one dad came up to me in the airport once. They had walked by me, and they were pretty far. And he was like, I'm so sorry to bother you, but like my daughter's a huge fan and she got really nervous. And, you know, we're not from here. Where was I? I was in Nashville. I was flying home from Nashville. And he was like, we're not even from here. We're from Minnesota. And like, I told her, like, when are you ever going to see a famous person again? I was like, famous person is a stretch. But like, I was like,
the compliment.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So I walked with him back to his family to go see her and take a picture with her. It was really sweet. So like, there are plenty of men who are super sweet to me in public, very, very nice, or they like do their partners a solid and they come up to me.
Right.
So my point in saying all that is like, I'm not a raging, angry ball of stress.
Right.
I am about other things. Things that don't matter is what I rage stress about.
Right.
Like
what?
Oh, girl, some things will send me into a spiral. Like my back door like locks with a little latch, but sometimes the little thing doesn't come out, so it doesn't actually lock. And so I'll stand there for like what feels like 20 minutes. It's probably 20 seconds. And then I literally get so stressed out. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Stay open for all I care.
They're just like us. If you're worrying about what Drew is doing all day, if you think she's sitting in some dark dungeon doing like satanic worshiping against men,
that's
praying
what I'm
on all the men to
losing my
die.
marbles about.
No, she's sitting at her back door like, what the
literally screaming, telling my dog, you're not going outside because then I have to open that door again and I'm not doing it again. So I'm taking you in the front yard.
Right. No, you just live a normal life.
There you go.
We are not
just
consumed with our hatred of men.
No, never. It's just
some
a
of
part
us even like dick, so it's like surprise. Like we sometimes have to like men, and I do have a couple men in my life that I like. So you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I know. You get the fatherless behavior.
Oh my God,
all the time.
I posted a video the other day about just an experience that I had in the last couple of months that I had like saved in the drafts and put up. It was about a guy breaking up with me, and then later me going to the bathroom and feeling his semen drip out of me because he had done it right after we had sex.
Oh my God.
It's just like, it was terrible, but objectively, like the way that I delivered it, I wanted it to be a funny video.
Yeah.
Besides the point. But all the comments were like, your poor father and your poor mom. And I'm thinking, why are you not talking about his poor parents? Yeah. I would be disgusted and disturbed to know that my son had inflicted that kind of violating emotional damage on somebody. It's a really terrible thing to do.
Right after a very intimate
look, breaking up with me is not a problem, but to have done that after knowing that you were going to do it, having sex with the girl anyway, and then breaking up with her. It's a very deeply, it really destroys your ability to trust somebody. That's a whole different podcast. But like, luckily I was okay. The guy wasn't a prize. But it was supposed to be a funny video. Why can't we all laugh while also having this multifaceted, like, that's really disturbing. Oh, man. And all the guys were like, your poor parents. And I'm like, his poor parents. Yeah. I would be so disturbed to know that my son had done that. Yeah. I really would be disappointed in myself if I had known that my son grew up and was a grown adult and did that to someone. So a lot of the time, fatherless behavior, I'm like, again, you're blaming yourself. Like, what?
Well, also, if let's just say fatherless behavior was a thing. Like, let's just say for shits and gigs that it was for realsies. And your daughter, she acts out, right? For whatever they deem inadmissible, like being promiscuous or like wearing slutty clothing or whatever you deem to be like fatherless. Whose fault is it then? If her father was absent in her life by choice, then whose fault is it that she turned out that way?
They're again blaming themselves.
There you go.
They tell on themselves in every single way. But I don't know. It's just, I don't get the lack of self-awareness when they sit and they actually type it out with their two thumbs. And I'm like, you're writing the word father.
I think it's also because they just like, they're always convinced that, first of all, we're never going to see the comments. I've found that out many times. Like on the way here to this show, I got a comment that said, you should start working out more. Like a fat shaming comment.
You got me.
On a video of me happily in love with my partner. Where's yours? That's besides the point. So I read the comment and I go, a word? Like, he's like, I think you should start working out more. I'm like, well, let me see a picture of your body because I want to know who's giving me advice. I'd love to know who's giving me the fitness advice. And then he wrote, I don't have to send you a picture of myself to prove anything. Word? All of a sudden, coward. That's what I thought, you bitch.
I cannot respect. And the fact that they think that they're deserving of my respect. People who write mean comments or give criticism of any kind, honestly, from an anonymous point of view. What we do, as we talked about earlier, we risk our safety sometimes. We are risking our sanity and our safety because we've decided to attach our names and our faces to everything that we say. We give people something, a person, a human being to look at and laugh at and be entertained by. Therefore, I live with the benefits. Hello, these are the benefits and the consequences of that. Literally. And the consequences sometimes are really, really scary. And I still do it. And people who think that they have the right to tell me what they think, whatever, like, I'll take constructive criticism, but don't tell me that this cyberbullying about what I look like and what I'm doing and the way that my voice sounds and whatever. Just don't pretend that what you're doing, this Reddit snark page, whatever. Don't pretend that what you're doing is noble. You have every right to talk about people. And if, like, there's like more people on that page than there are Instagram followers on any of these accounts, but like, whatever.
It's also, it goes both ways.
Right.
When they're like, well, that's just my opinion, right? Like about me being ugly.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, I also find you ugly, so I guess we're in the same boat.
Right.
And they're like, you can't say that to me.
Right. You can't bully me.
All of a sudden, huh?
I'm like suddenly, I'm not for the girls. I'm against women if I express some opinion, which, by the way, I don't. And their whole big critique is like, well, I'm allowed to critique her because this was like a not like the other girls statement. She's not being for the girls. I'm like, you're a girl on a Reddit snark page, anonymously telling me about how the sound of my voice makes you ill. And I don't have the right to combat that. You're doing it from behind a screen name with no photo. And here I am putting my opinions out there for the world. I don't give a I don't care that my opinion, you don't agree with it.
That's fine.
Mine has more validity because it came from a person who had the balls to say it.
No, truly.
Level up, get on my level, do
Yeah.
it without a screen name. If you comment it with your full name and face, I will take your criticism. I will read it and consider it unless it's like looks, whatever.
Yeah, but also
can't
like pick
pretend that's
me
snowball.
shit like that, like internalized misogyny
Right.
is a disease, first of all.
Right.
Like wish them well and push them out to sea.
There's
That's all you can really
nothing
do.
you can
There's
do.
nothing you can do to save them.
Nothing.
And I've had like literally on that hate video of that guy like being like, I'm gonna hurt your feelings. I'm gonna make you quit TikTok. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
He on his video like trying to make me cry. It was the this is objectively speaking, like from the outside, like it was
what
the
was his
worst.
approach?
He just said like the same. He said he called me fat in 27 different languages.
Right.
Like it was just like oh, you got a big bottle ass, big
Being
monk.
unoriginal is
it's
worse
just-
than
it's-
anything else.
I can't even think of it because it wasn't memorable because it sucked.
I would
So-
almost rather they be like disgusting, violent, racist, whatever. Just at least be funny. Come up with something
You
funny.
gotta give me something, man. Like,
Something.
Like I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. And you
Right.
suck. But like, anyways, there was a girl who commented on that video, and she was like, "Oh, let's talk about how her Twitter picture doesn't look anything like her. Mind you, she follows me. 1,
Oh.
2, I look at." Someone responded back to her because she had like a Snapchat filter on her picture, and someone responded back to her and literally wrote, "You have a filter on your picture. I wouldn't be talking if I were you." And the creator liked that comment. Girl, what? Like you sold me down the river and he's not even on your side.
Right.
Like, bitch, what the hell? Like I was
What?
literally thinking, that's insane. That's insane.
They'll do
That
anything
You went to their side of the
for a
court
man's approval.
and they don't even want you.
They
over
don't even
there.
want you. Have you seen this girl, Pearl? You know about Pearl?
Yeah.
First of all, I need to see you two in a room together. Actually, I don't because there's no difference it's ever going to make, but I just want to see how the energy would shift in the room.
It's one of those things where it's like, I can't save you.
Right.
And it's a waste of my
too
time.
far. And people
Like,
try to argue with her, and it's like
There's no
that's her whole
point.
point. There's nothing that we can do. First of all, I have not seen a boyfriend with this girl. Her whole life is like men. You have proven nothing. You've proven that you are still single.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be said.
well, life is just too short.
What, like why am I
it's
going to
too
argue with
short.
you? But I
They
just
don't
think that
want you on their team. Like you think that because
Right.
they give you this like short-term validation that they're gonna respect you.
right.
They won't.
They
like
don't care.
you are still like lesser than to them.
Right.
Even if you don't act like me or Talia, you don't talk like us, you don't share the same opinions, you're still a bitch to
Right.
them. Like you
Right.
like that's how they're always gonna see you.
Always.
It's a fruitless endeavor.
You
to
think that you're like the
pursue
one
it.
who's different? Like they will
No, babe.
never, if they hate all women, they think that
Yeah.
all women are subhuman and you agree with them,
Yeah.
they're not going to pick you out and say, but this is the one.
Yeah.
You still are trash.
Yeah,
to them.
social currency with men is worthless. It gives
Right.
you nothing, and
Nothing.
it doesn't. And you can't do nothing
And they
in
can't
life
help you
without
with
your
it.
girls. Without people who are not like cis hetero men. Like you can't. Like life is just so colorless.
It's so colorless.
with just men.
It's flat.
Yeah, it's so
It won't
boring.
get you anywhere.
Yeah.
And also, like, I don't, if you're not frustrated, people always ask, like, you're so angry, you're making a lot of videos about, because this isn't, unlike you, it's not like my thing that I came into TikTok with.
yeah.
So I've kind of transformed into more of it. And I
Yeah.
kind of try to stick to my original stuff so that I don't get the original fans upset.
Yeah.
But people will get upset like, oh, you used to be light and funny and now you're doing a lot of this misogyny stuff and whatever. And it's like, if you're not as angry as I am, you have not yet experienced the vitriol and the living every single day. Like you're not woke to it. I hate to say that word, but you're not awoken to
It's
what
just-
life is as a woman.
If it doesn't upset you, then there's a problem.
Right.
Like what's exhausting is having to hear all the time like, oh, you just like focus on the negative, like you just like you don't even see the good, and you're so wrong.
Right.
Like the only reason that the negative sticks out so severely is because I have seen what it looks like on the other side.
Right.
So this is horrid to
Right.
me. Like it's so glaring to me because I know what the other side looks like. I know what men are capable of.
Right.
Like I do. I know. I've seen it
Right.
myself. I've lived it, bitch.
Right.
So that's why I always think like if you are not upset or you don't understand like why someone like me would be so like useful to other people who haven't quite found the courage to stand up for themselves, then you have a lot of unpacking to do, babe.
Right.
Like that's on you. And if
you
you're
have
a
lot
man,
of
then
life
eat
left
shit.
to live. You have a lot of projects to be ruined in the future by men. You
No
have a lot of
shit.
things that are going to be slowed down by the fact that men are a part of it. I'm not saying that all men, there are wonderful men. We both know that.
Yeah.
But you haven't realized I don't know even how to begin to articulate it, but the difference that it makes to not be only working with men, for example. It's just we communicate differently.
Yeah.
The efficiency is different, and it sometimes it can really hold you back in life if you're just trying to cater to men all the time.
Yeah.
When you realize in terms of efficiency, whatever, it's not helping you. It's not getting you any further in life. You know what I
know. And if you think about who's the best multitasker, she identifies as a woman.
That's a woman.
Every single time.
Who's the most successful person you know? And crypto doesn't count. Fake money doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
Who is the
as far
happiest
as
person
I know,
you know?
Crypto's like Roblox. It's the same.
What even is Roblox? That I don't know either.
It's crypto.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Is it really? I thought it was like Minecraft, like a game.
I don't know. All the men are gonna be like,
Call in.
She's so dumb
Yeah, I
because
know.
she doesn't. I don't care. That's the thing I really want you to know.
Right.
Just like what were those
We have a life to live.
what were those illustrations that people were buying for money? There was a monkey. What's the name of that?
No, don't tell me.
NFTs. That's what they are.
NFTs. What is it, like stamps or something? It looks like little stickers.
For a while, I thought they were conspiracies. I thought it was did we even land on the moon? I thought it was that type of shit.
What even is that?
Fake. It's not
Fake.
real.
Fake money.
As far as I know, not real.
Fake money.
They're oh, Paris Hilton's buying an NFT, or a lot of people bought this one monkey NFT. I'm for what?
What
What's
even
in
is
there?
that?
I don't care.
I don't know. We're starting to talk about things that I do not know about.
Maybe
I'm
that's
clamming up and getting nervous because I'm what even is that?
Maybe that's me being a stupid woman, but I don't care. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't
know. It's just their idea of a smart man compared to a stupid woman. They will tell you, you'll make fun of Trump, for example. They're Trump is a businessman. Okay, he has a lot of money. It's do you know how many times this guy has filed for bankruptcy?
No,
the guys
literally.
that they worship who have money, because to them it's only about money.
Yeah.
The number is what matters. Do you know how bad these businessmen are that you worship? They're not even good at what they do.
No, literally.
I just don't. The standards are so low to be impressive for a man, and it's just be luxurious, have a nice car.
To an extent. I could be
the means of how you got it isn't even smart. It's just what? It's fake money. You're not paying taxes.
Real. You see a picture of it and you're that must be real.
Right.
But I can lie too.
Right.
I can also lie. I can hire models too to hang out around me. I could rent a car for a day.
Right.
I could also lie.
If you have the
Probably
budget,
better.
anybody can be Dan Bilzerian on Instagram
No
for
shit.
a day.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyone can.
Literally. Okay, let's get into these videos. I just realized we haven't even touched these
yeah.
videos, but I love it. Okay. So this first video, for those of you who don't know, what we'd like to do here in the comment section is we bring videos I was tagged in that are applicable to our topic today, and then we kiki, laugh about it, rip them apart, whatever is necessary. Okay, so this first video is a woman sharing her list called Rude Things I've Said to Men. With responses, she tells men who try to hit on her in public, which include, I didn't ask what you do for a living, I don't care. No amount of money that you make will ever make me interested. And you can't listen to my no now, so I know you won't listen to it later. Leave. That's tea, bitch.
Whoa.
Honestly, those two, you served with those
Good for
two.
you.
I love those.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't ask what you do for a living. I don't care. No amount of money that you make will make me interested. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I heard that,
you don't even need to come up with a clever way to say it too. See how she just, ladies, listen. See how she just did it straight out, no frills.
Literally.
There was no funny way of doing it.
Literally.
I'm sure the delivery was just deadpan. Just say, I don't care.
Yeah.
Nothing you ever do will make me interested in you. You don't have to say it in a funny way. Just
No,
say
you
it like
really
that.
don't.
Just say it like you mean
Or
it.
lie.
Oh my God. The other day.
Just be no.
I'm at the bar and this guy did this stupid thing where he put the stretch. And he was trying to be funny,
rom-com.
but he put it around me and I shook him off really, really hard.
Yeah.
So that everyone saw. This is guys' funniest thing that they love to do. They think this is such a serve. They go, "You're mean. You're so mean." I literally go, "Oh no," and then just walk away. Anytime a man criticizes you in any way, just go, "Oh no," and then leave. It's the funniest thing that you can do. They get really confused. Just be like, you don't have to be subtle when you diss men.
No.
Just shake them off
I'm not.
really hard.
Yeah, literally.
It's fun. Be
Yeah.
physical. Use physical comedy.
Yeah.
Use like
Do
your
a bit.
facial expression.
Yeah, do a 20-minute set.
Yeah, but girls, just say mean things without trying to be funny, without trying to whatever. It naturally is funny.
Or just
say
soften it, because they're gonna disrespect the boundary regardless. So you might as well come out swinging.
Don't
you know what I mean?
soften
Like,
it.
that's what I always think. Like, if you literally, where was I? Oh, I was in Nashville again. Like, and my boyfriend left me for a little, and this guy walked by me, and then he came back and he goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey." Like real
Right.
deadpan. Like
Right.
I'm not nice. I don't need to be
Right.
to strange men in public.
Yeah.
So then he was like, "Oh, I think you're really beautiful," and I was like, "Thank you." And then he was like, "Can I get your number?" I go, "Oh," and I didn't hear him at first because it was so
Right.
loud. So I was like, "What?" And then he goes, "Can I get your number?" I go, "Oh, no."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Do you have like a boyfriend or something?" I go, "Yeah, but no."
No. And they get
I mean,
so
that's unrelated
shocked.
to what we're talking about, but no.
They're expecting you to make them comfortable.
Yeah.
And why should you have to? Every time a guy comes up to me, I'm always vaping, right? In the club. It's like my trademark thing. I always have it in my hand. And people come up to me, guys, all the time. They go, "Oh, can I hit that?" They do their stupid thing where they just go, like, they go like this, and they expect you to just give it to them.
That's gross.
And guys come to me, they go, "Hey, I have a question for you." And they try to start off really nice. I go, "No."
yeah.
They're like, "Oh, it's just about your vape." I go, "No, I don't want herpes from you. Don't touch
Yeah.
me."
No.
And they always are so shocked
Yeah.
that I said no in such a flat way.
Yeah, same.
And I used to, before I was more secure, when I was younger, I used to, if I said no to any guy, just did what you just did,
Yeah.
I would still leave feeling kind of bad. Maybe I'd go back and be like, "Hi, I'm just kidding." Or like, I literally was so afraid of being
Yeah.
perceived as mean.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, also, I am mean. So what?
Yeah.
I can be very mean.
Right.
I've said that before because, like, people have asked me, like, how do you feel about being called a mean person? And I'm like, I am very mean. You're
Yeah.
right.
Right.
I can be very mean. I will continue to be mean to people that deserve it.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with being mean. Everybody has the capacity to be mean to someone. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a trait that's exclusive to me.
Right.
There are some people who are very, very mean. Like,
How come when guys are funny or guys are mean, it's like a funny thing? It's
well,
like a
and when
sense
they're
of humor.
mean to women, they're like, "Oh, he must like you."
Right.
When women are mean to men, it's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Right.
Like, you have a problem.
Right.
And it's like, "Yeah, you
hurt
bother
you?"
me." I was in New York last week for Fashion Week stuff, and I was out with I was there with a brand, so I went with a bunch of girls.
Sure.
Hot girls. Everyone's hot.
Yeah.
Right.
Duh.
I don't know if it's like just happenstance, but everyone was cute.
Sure.
We all go out. We go to like a little lounge. This guy comes up to me because I'm like standing like away from the couch, so like he's looking at other girls.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, what got all you guys together?" That's what he says to me, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like who got this group together? And I go, "We're working." Mind you, it's like midnight in a club. Like we're standing there. I'm like, "We're working."
Yeah.
And then he's like, with like someone in particular, I go, "Do you need something? Like, are you busy? Do you need
Right.
something?" Or, "Oh no, I'm just curious. Like, everyone's so beautiful." And I was like, "I know.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, bye."
And
That's why
they
sometimes I want to go, "Bye."
The
See ya."
bar is so on the floor that they think that anything remotely, like they just engage with you and they think that you're going to be like, "Oh,
Yeah, and
nice."
then he literally goes, I go, "Well, we're working." He goes, "Well, I think I want to talk to you."
Right.
Mind you, when I say this man's old, I mean old. Like, bitch, like this dude was like in his late 40s,
Ew.
like easily.
Ew.
What are you doing in a club? Don't you have a 401k to pull out? So then I was like, okay. And he goes, "Who's the leader? Who's like the ringleader?"
Oh my
of this?"
God.
Which, okay, that's how shows you how old he was.
Right.
But he says that to me and I go, "We're not interested." So
Right.
all of this, like,
And then they start to say, "Well, I was never interested either. I was just trying to be friendly."
yeah, and he goes, "Oh, I was just trying." I was like, no,
Leave.
He doesn't listen to me. Shocker.
Yeah.
He walks around and then starts harassing some of the girls in the group, like keeps trying to talk to them.
Right.
And then another girl in the group was like, "You're too close to me.
Right.
Leave." Because he was like leaning on the couch, like no spatial awareness,
Right.
no respect for boundaries, obviously.
None.
He leaves. He gets like shunned, right? Like I
Right.
said, no one wants to talk to you.
Right.
He comes back. He walks by me. He goes, "I don't know what your guys' problem is. I was just trying to talk." Mind you, at this point, my boyfriend's next to me. So he's not happy immediately. He's like, what did you just say? This guy bitches out immediately. He's like, no, just like, man, like, I'm just trying to talk. You know what I mean? And then I go, and I literally told my boyfriend, I'm like, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I told him, I told you no one wanted to talk to you and you didn't listen to me. Now look at you, embarrassed.
Right.
Leave. And then he was like, and he just left. He turned around and left.
Good.
You have a puffer vest on in the lounge. It was never going to be you.
It was never going to be
Bitch,
you.
it was never going to be you.
But they expect you to thank them for the attention.
He didn't even offer
for harassing
a drink.
me.
Like, give me something.
Right,
bitch.
right. Make
like,
yourself useful. If you want to be introduced to the group, and even after you get the drink, we don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
But if you want, it's customary when you go to somebody's home, when you go to their domain, you bring an offering.
When
bring
you
a
approach
candle,
the altar,
a bottle of wine. Yeah. Why are you approaching my group
empty-handed? Even like animals, like when they want to approach each other, like they bring something.
Right.
And they drop it at their feet and they're like, what are your thoughts?
Just for the boys, don't click the duet button. Keep your finger still right now. I'm not saying that a man has to buy me something in order for me to give him the time of day. But if you're going to harass me, if you're going to not leave the table,
gotta be something.
If you want me to at least give you a smile and say, thank you, I'm not interested, but thank you.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like he wasn't leaving until you just smiled at him.
Yeah, no.
So if you want that, buy me a drink then. Why are you here?
I'm like dancing and I'm like, we're not interested.
Right.
No, like we're not interested.
They don't get it.
I said no multiple times and this bitch didn't listen to me.
They think you're kidding.
And then look at him. He got embarrassed. Like I said, I tried to save you from that. Like I tried to save you from your own humiliation, bro. Like, no.
Right. Be
and
meaner.
That's why I said I was super mean and look what happened. Like, even at this point, at this level, like, even at like the age I'm at now, in the relationship I'm at now, they're still like that.
Right.
And when I saw that, I was like, that's why I hate going out.
Right.
I forgot.
Oh,
I never go out
awful.
anymore. And
It's
I did.
awful.
And now I remember why.
But if you do go out and you do have this experience with a gross, usually when they're drunk too, they're so much grosser.
Yeah.
Just be mean. Stop trying to be nice to a guy who won't remember this the next day anyway. It will. You have so much as a woman. To exist as a woman is work, okay?
Yeah.
And you have a lot of pent-up energy. It's a great way to get out your anger. Stop sugarcoating when you say no. Stop being like, no, sorry, you're so sweet, though. Just say no, okay? Just like when I yelled in this guy at his store, yelling feels really good and not being like the sweet, the bigger person. We're always expected to be the bigger person. I've never heard somebody tell a guy to be the bigger person.
Well, yeah, and you know how like when you see a bear in the wild and they're like, you gotta get big?
Right.
That's like what you do
Get
in the
bigger.
wild. You gotta get big.
Yes.
Like, you gotta get big and be like, I don't know, eat grass,
Right.
eat leaves, like smash a bottle over your head. Like
Right.
anything that makes them leave you alone. Like when I was younger and unhinged, I used to be insane. Like I would do crazy things to get men to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because they don't listen.
Oh, so
then
we're the
I
opposite.
I would have to freak out and like literally cause a scene and like draw a lot of attention to get them to leave you alone.
Oh, I
because
caused the scene to get
they
them to
won't.
come over and give me attention. I was obsessed with men. Obsessed. And I still am like boy crazy, like romantically, sexually. I love
Yeah.
boys, but two things can be true.
Yeah, that's I think the perfect balance.
Right. I speak for the former pick-me girls.
Have
I
you
am
seen-
one of you. I really
same.
am.
I used to be a pick me too. Honestly.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Okay, let's look at some of the comments on this video. So this one where she's giving like
Yeah.
funny things she says to men who are terrible.
Right.
This one says, someone thinks a lot of themselves, must be some desperate men. They always try to humble you. And it's like, you can't be uglier than me and try and humble me. That's not how that works. And also his handle is the ugly corner. Telling.
Sorry, I want to burp, but I don't want to give them a chance to prove their point. But that made me want to burp.
This one says, my rude saying, did you practice that in front of a mirror? That's funny.
That is funny.
That's a funny
See,
thing to say.
If you're gonna be mean, be funny, please. Okay.
Yeah, you know what's funny? What's a great one is whatever they tell you they do, like if they're making this weird small talk and they're forcing you to listen. Whatever they say, when you're like, what do you do for a living? And they say like finance or like I'm a trainer or whatever, you just go, that's cute. They hate that.
They hate that.
They hate
No, they
that.
really, really hate
Or they tell you their name, then say a different name. Like, let's say they say their name is like Gary. Say a name that's completely off, like Hank. Like, it doesn't sound anything like it.
Yeah.
And then they go, it's Gary. And then you go, same thing.
Oh my
They hate
God.
that. I used to do that all the time too.
Oh, that's brilliant.
They hate that shit because and then you go, what's your name again? I'm so sorry.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
I always say,
sorry, I forgot.
and I'm cute about it too. I grab their arm. I'm like, excuse me. I know we talked for 20 minutes. Who the f- are you?
What was your name again?
What's your name?
I forgot.
Right.
Okay. Well, same thing.
Same thing.
I can't remember. I have
So
too many
good.
things. I have too many girl
When they
thoughts
ask
in
you
my
what
head.
you do, like, and I know what the reaction is going to be to me saying my actual job to a
Yeah.
man. It doesn't matter how much he likes me. He will immediately start. Their way of flirting is to delegitimize whatever you tell them for some reason.
Be condescending.
And our job happens to work perfectly
That's
for that.
their culture.
So I always say like, oh, I'm an accountant or something. And like, he'll try to ask me more questions. I'm like, did you not hear me? I said it. And he's like, I don't believe you. I'm
You
like,
say, legally, you're not allowed to ask me that.
yeah.
HIPAA. You're not even in health medical.
There you go.
fields. Okay, this
Just
last
lie. Start
just
lying.
lie. Yeah. It. This last one says, I feel like this would get me turned into an episode of true crime.
Huh?
That's fair too. I think they're saying that
he's
like
gonna kill her.
yeah, they'll take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's always a risk. I think I always say to be smart about it because like when I was younger, I was much more aggressive and like much more confrontational with men when they were awful towards me or my friends. So when I was younger, I used to do that. Then, you know, like you get older and you realize that people are terrifying and people are unhinged. So it's like you find new ways to adapt. I feel like you can sense it, but a lot of times like they prey on the vulnerability too.
Right.
So if you're really mean out the gate, they're going to be like, okay.
Right.
All right, bitch.
Right,
And then
right.
you go, okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Just act like you feel bad for them in any way, like the fake,
Bye.
like bye.
yeah, just okay, see
Bye.
you. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, it drives them nuts. This face. Bye.
Yeah, you just go, okay, see you
Bye.
later.
Oh, see you
Kisses.
later.
See you later.
Oh my God. I hope your hair starts growing back here.
Yeah. I would look into that.
Yeah,
if
I
were
would look
you.
into that.
Okay, let's move on to this next video. So this is the man in this video is explaining why women are rude to you when they reject you to other men. And he says, if you hit on a woman and she's rude to you, it's because she thinks she's too good for you and she's disappointed in herself.
Well, okay.
That's an oxymoron. Those two things cancel each other out.
They try so hard to sound smart, but they'll use any amount of words to like put them together
That's
and just try to sound
contradictory,
smart. But what does rude mean to you is the thing. It's what we just talked about. It's like,
Rejection
was I
is
being
rude.
rude or was I just politely rejecting you and you interpreted
Or
that
did
as
I just
rude?
say no?
Did I just say no?
Yeah.
Did I just not sugarcoat it for you? I do this thing with men. I
Yeah.
still have to do it even though like you could call me a feminist all you want. I find that in my daily life, it makes it easier for me to just follow this rule for myself. I do what's called the compliment sandwich with men. When I'm working with men, as we talked about earlier, sometimes things can slow you down because of their egos, whatever. If you want to give them criticism, I find that it's a lot easier to say, okay, you were amazing with this. This is exactly right. I love how you did this. Also, can we just tweak this a little bit? Oh my God, you're so good at that. Thank you so much. You have to give them a compliment in between or else they see it as rude. So when a guy asks you out and you say, oh, you are so cute, but I'm not really interested, but oh my God, you are so cute. Like if you sandwich it, that's the only way they won't call you mean.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
To a stranger,
It depends.
you don't need to do
That's
that.
why I said it's like a temp gauge thing. Like
Right.
whatever you personally feel like would work, like, or it depending on your safety, like if you're alone,
Right.
if it's nighttime, like I think it's like an assessment thing. Like I've talked about on the show, like my way to like deflect being objectified is like when it happens, you just like pretend you didn't hear it to deflect it in a way that's not feeding into their ego, but it's
Right.
also protecting you at the same
Right.
time. It's not like, because I used to just, what'd you say to me? Like I used to be insane.
Right.
So I just like go, what? And then they'll say it again. And then you pretend you didn't hear it again. You say, what again? And then they'll repeat it again if they're really about it. They'll say it for the third time. And then you go, oh, okay.
Okay.
You just leave.
Bye.
And it makes them feel so stupid. And then you're also not antagonizing them.
The only thing better, like insulting them and sometimes like going off on them,
Yeah.
it feels good. But if you want to look better, make them feel dumb.
Yeah.
Make them feel like they missed something, like they're
Yeah.
confused. If they walk away feeling, a man needs to feel sure of everything. If they walk away feeling confused, they will think about that for years to come. Like, what were
Yeah.
those girls whispering about? What were they laughing about? I don't know.
That's
They
why I
are
said,
terrified of
I've-
being laughed at.
I've said that on my TikTok is sometimes when I make fun of videos, like sometimes people will be like, you didn't attack this and you didn't attack this. Like things that are considered obvious.
Right.
And I was like, low-hanging fruit.
Right.
I said, you guys are out here. I'm up here.
I'm more creative than his
He's
mirror.
never gonna.
I don't need to tell him that.
He's never gonna forget me because I'm gonna be living up here because I said something that he never would have ever thought someone could say to him. That's the game I'm playing.
Right.
Psychological warfare.
Right.
If you will. Lasts a lot longer. But in terms of safety, like if you just confuse them, it's almost like a smoke screen and then you can leave. But at the same time, it makes them feel stupid, which is a mission accomplished for you.
Good.
And then it gives you enough time to get away so you don't have to like be around it anymore. But it's like when this guy says if you hit on women and she's rude to you, it's because she thinks she's too good for you and she's disappointed in herself. Those two things don't make sense.
Not disappointed in myself, but yeah, I do think I'm too good for you. What's
yeah,
your
I was
point?
like, you had me in the first half, that's for sure.
When you say she's too good for you, what are you trying to say to me? Yes, I do. What is your point?
Why would I
don't get
say
it.
no if I thought we were equals?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, or if I was like interested, why would I?
That's like you saying I should have said yes even though I know that I'm too good for you. Why would I do that? That makes no sense. I'm disappointed in myself that you came up to me.
I'm so disappointed that I'm so much better off without you.
I'm disappointed in your parents for raising you with this much confidence. I'm not disappointed in me.
I'm disappointed in your family tree.
Right.
Those genetics are just sour. Okay, this comment on here says women with overblown egos, in all caps. You have to humiliate these types of girls to humble them. That's how you help them. You know what's so funny is sometimes people will be like, have men ever tried to like humble you or like do shit like that? Now, no, but like in the past. And I'm like, yeah, I get like what I would equate to prey drive that dogs get when they like hear a sound and they're like, that's all I'm going to think about.
Right.
It's a dog whistle to me. Like when I feel like men are trying to try it with me, I'm like, let's do it.
Right.
I cleared my schedule. I'm here all day, bitch.
It is your job.
Let's do it.
People forget that you have all the time in the world to do exactly this because of the platform that they have given you. That's the thing. Is like, I don't know what their goal is. They must love you deep down. Because when people write these comments, they know that we're going to go after them, whatever. And then they make fun of us for the job that we have. And it's like, you gave me this job.
Uno reverse.
I have listeners. I have fans. I have whatever. I have money, brand deals, because I have people who are engaged with what you want to tell me.
Yeah, there you go.
They love the way that I respond.
It feeds itself.
That's why I said
it's almost like a self-sustaining. Like, that's why I've said I have the most aggressive form of job security.
Right.
Because you're never going to stop being awful. And so I'm never going to stop talking about you.
Never.
Symbiotic.
Never.
We're made
going
for
to
each
happen.
other.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
In that case.
It's a perfect circle.
And in the past, before I had the platform, like when men were rude in public, as I said, it's a dog whistle.
Right.
I said, you just say the word, buddy. We can start making fun of each other. I love that.
Right.
I love to laugh.
Oh my God. I'm dying to get in a fight in public too. I want to like really do what I do on TikTok in a bar, in like a crowded bar with a real life man standing in front of me. Have you done it? Has anybody ever confronted you in person?
No.
They're such pussies.
Well, yeah. But I've had one guy, he didn't really, I wouldn't call it confronting me, but it was like a little something. Like it had a little edge to it, but he bitched out. But like we were like going on a roller coaster at
You're
Universal
like getting
Studios.
revved up just to tell me the story.
We were going on a roller coaster at Universal Studios, Florida.
Sure.
Orlando. Why? Why there? I don't know. But he was standing like in front of me. Okay, mind you, for context, like this guy knows who I am, and he's also, I think, a creator too, to an extent. We're not friends. He's much older than me, white dude with dreads, so do with that what you will.
No.
He's standing like in front of me. There's a couple, and then there's me and my boyfriend.
Okay.
He's with some girl. I'm assuming it's his wife or girlfriend. I don't know. And so he's drunk. That's important because he got brave, right? So he turns around and he's looking at me, and then he goes, "Oh, so this must be one of the good ones," talking about my boyfriend. And then I go,
that's kind of clever.
Yeah, he goes, "You must not hate this one," some shit like that.
Duh.
And then I go, "This is my boyfriend."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, all right.
That's the best you could do.
Weird energy we're cooking, right? It's awkward. It's weird.
Right.
It's uncomfortable.
Right.
Couple in front of me is like, because they don't know either of us. They're just there. And then he's like, well, I just would assume like, that you just hated all of us, right? Based off, your platform.
Right.
I go, I've never said that.
Right.
This is living proof.
Right.
Right next to me.
Right.
And then he's like, well, I just thought maybe you would get that since, you know, you love to make jokes. None of it's making sense. Like, he's throwing darts.
Right.
None of them are hitting.
Right.
He says that, and I'm like, I love to make jokes. Do you like to make jokes? And then and it's awkward. Like, it's so tense and tangible. And then the ride comes, right? And then the little things open. He turns around. He, like, tries to dap up my boyfriend. Like,
Are you
like
kidding?
That. No. And
what
then
did your boyfriend do?
My boyfriend didn't do anything. Like, he literally just went like this, and he was like trying to like shake his hand or something. My boyfriend didn't react. Like, he didn't lift his hand, nothing. The guy goes, "Thanks for taking one for the team." Like, about me.
What?
Like, saying like, "Thanks for like dating this like monster." Gets on the ride, closes the thing, right? And then he's like his girlfriend, while he was trying to talk to me, was going, "Please stop, please stop."
Good.
Like, she was embarrassed.
Right.
And so then he says that up shit and then gets on the ride. I go, "Hey, wait for me after the ride. We can finish the conversation if you want to wait." "Wait for me. Hey, wait for me after the ride. Wait for me, yeah?"
Oh my God.
And then he just like would not look at me. I was like, "Hey, did you hear me?
Oh,
you
he
should wait."
sprinted off that
Yeah,
ride.
and I said, "What a bitch move." Like, he said that and then got on the roller coaster and we're like,
Right.
"Okay, take off.
Right.
Take off now."
Right.
It was the Velocicoaster though, so it was so fun.
I wish
I had a blast.
you're just living unbothered on the
Yeah.
roller coaster. No. You cannot rain on my parade. You cannot.
No.
The fact that they think that they can say anything is going to ruin your day at Disney World, mind you. But I don't know why more people don't approach. Well, I do. It's because they're pussies. But why don't they approach if they have so much to say online? You take up so much of their space in their head.
Yeah.
I will walk by guys in the street all the time and I'll notice they'll like give me a funny look. And
I've
I'm
had
like,
that
oh, it
happen.
must be that.
I've had that
But they
happen.
never say anything.
Yeah. You
Never.
know what's funny? This is so random. I just remember this. It triggered a memory for me. One time my boyfriend and I went to breakfast randomly, like kind of far from where we live. And there's like this guy who has, I'm not kidding, harassed me for like 8 months. Like, he's made the worst, most racist, fatphobic videos about me. Like, he has this crazy, unhinged, like, gym bro presence. Like, it's really, really bad. Like, he has problems. I've never once talked about him ever. He just attacks me for no reason.
She had a restraining order.
He got his like account. He got his account banned like twice because he could not stop talking about me.
Right.
Not because of me. It's just that's how bad the videos were.
Right.
I saw him in person at this breakfast place. My boyfriend's the one who recognized him.
No.
Yeah, and like, he saw me and said nothing.
Yeah.
He saw me and my boyfriend and said nothing. First of all, smaller than both of us. Second of all, he looked me up and down, knew me. He knows my boyfriend too. And he walked away and said nothing. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, you said all this. And that's how I know that some of these men, it's for show.
Right.
Like, it's literally not even real. Like, they might not even believe half the shit they're saying.
Right.
It's just because they know that there's a huge audience of terrible men waiting for someone to like hate me.
And it's the only
And
area
it's
where they feel
insane.
like they have something they're passionate about, something to say. Besides the gym, it's like, this is really the only, your men pride, anti-female pride, your meninist movement, whatever is the only thing that like brings you fulfillment and brings you joy. And it's the only thing that you can do
and
all
they just
day.
want to kiki together about it. Like, they don't exactly want to do anything. They just want a safe place to hate women unabashedly with no judgment.
Exactly.
And like, I couldn't believe it. Like, my boyfriend was like, I can't believe he didn't say anything. Like, my boyfriend was so close to saying something to him. And I was like, don't. I got nothing to say.
You have
got
nothing
something to say
against
to
him.
me. You can say it to me if you see me. Like, and that's like, if you saw me and you're that upset, like, but that's why I said I think it's just for show. Like, men like that, it's literally, it's like they think it's like a character they can play. But the crazy part is, like, when you steer into a skid, even if you don't believe it truly, and you'll never admit that openly, you're upholding patriarchy, which is therefore oppressing all of us, not just women or femmes. It's oppressing literally all of us. And it's like, it makes no sense. Like, I'm like, what I'm doing is real because it's a violence I've experienced my entire life. And now. But you're doing it because it's fun. That's crazy.
And they believe that their retaliation. Remember that video that I did that guy had been bullying you and then he came for me also? When their whole thing.
The moral
police. The morality police and this whole bullying. They're suddenly against cyberbullying. And it's like we said at the beginning of this episode, they don't even know what cyberbullying is.
No, truly.
First of all, forget the internet. If you had to live under the buzzword standards that women live under, they would never be able to uphold the physical and the emotional strength and person that we need to be in order to operate in their world.
Yeah.
And on top of that, now that we have the internet, the bullying, the just terror. It's like they really do rain terror on us, and they try to shut us up by actually threatening terror and violence. And it's like these guys have the audacity to come after me for bullying on behalf of on your looks, for bullying about looks.
When you were bullying about looks?
You're bullying about trying to kill me.
Yeah.
I just don't get why you could ever think that what we do is the same.
I don't get
why
stamp
you
it
could
on my
ever,
forehead, you know what I mean?
How could you ever believe that we are both fighting some good fight?
Or we're equals.
Or that we're equals.
Like, that's why and even so, like, let's take everything off. Let's take everything off the table. Race, gender expression, sexuality. Let's take all of that off the table. Let's just say boy, girl.
Right.
You said something about looks. I said something about looks. PEMDAS, it cancels out. That's what I think. Like,
there you go.
We did it to each other.
Right.
There you go.
They
PEMDAS.
freak out.
And then it's like, well, no, that's different because why?
Why is it different?
It's the only difference is that I can take a joke and you can't.
Right.
That's the only difference, other than what we both identify as and look like.
And you've been doing it way longer than me. That's another difference. You've been doing it since the beginning of time. But all of a sudden, I've developed a platform and I'm allowed to do it now, and you're freaked out. And the only backlash that you're going to get as a result of me publicizing your comment, just publicly calling you ugly in response to something that you comment, like you put on the internet yourself.
Yeah.
The only thing you're getting in return is 100 girls calling you ugly or something for a day.
And
I'm getting like doxxed.
Yeah.
Like you are trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And you're telling me it's the same thing.
Well, that's why I'm like, see, it doesn't feel very good, huh?
No.
To have random people comment on your looks or random people attack you for no reason doesn't feel very good, does it?
Right.
So you would think that would be like, man, that sucked. I don't think I want to do that to other people. But no, you're like, well, what I did was a joke and what she did was a funnier joke, albeit, but still. That's why I never feel bad. That's why I've said before. I've said countless times, I will never apologize ever for being mean to men who are awful to people on the internet for no reason. I'll never.
That's right.
I will never feel sorry. I sleep soundly on a mattress you bitches paid for, and you can take that to the bank, ho. That's what I think, because for far too long, the internet has been such a minefield for anyone that is not a cisgendered heterosexual man. It has been such a scary, dark, horrible place for people. Even when they feel like they're safe in their own communities, one of you bitches sneaks past security and gets in there.
Right.
And starts saying horrible, awful shit to people for no reason. And then you have someone like me who's like fumigating and all you roaches are coming out.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, why are you fumigating us? Why are you doing this to us?
Who gave you the right?
If
Why
you
are
stop,
allowed?
then I will too.
Right.
And that's a promise.
Right. A promise. And you never will. And that's why she'll always have a job and an income.
There you
Sorry.
go.
If you shut up, she will have to live on the street. So it's your call. You really want to see
it again
her
and
suffer?
I'll make something else.
You really want to see Drew suffer? If you stop being misogynistic, she has no job.
Become an intersectional
Try it.
feminist then.
Try
if you're
it.
real.
Try it.
Prove it.
If you're real, if you really want to see her live in a tent in the street, stop being a misogynist.
Yeah, if you really
She'll
want
lose
me,
her
if
income.
you really want me to like go back to working 9 to 5, that's really all you have to do. But even then, I'm rolling a bunch of balls now on the off chance you bitches get so petty you become an intersectional feminist. Don't worry, I got other irons in the fire.
She's fine.
Don't worry, she's prepped regardless. That
That's
would be
right.
a dream. So, anyways, I think we've pretty much established why it's okay to be mean if you need to be.
That's right. Stop feeling bad. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Never feel
bad.
guilty.
Yeah. Never feel bad for standing up for yourself, for standing up for others. It's never in vain.
Yeah.
Like, even if it feels like it can be at the time. And if you need courage, just go to one of our pages and you can find it there.
That's right. Even if you say like the worst thing you've ever said too. Stop being scared that you like did actual damage. You didn't.
My thing is like, if I call you like, I don't know. If I just said like, you look like Banana Joe, right? Then, I mean.
What's Banana Joe?
Look it up. Look it up. If I tell you that's what you look like in real life, and that's the hardest thing you've ever had to go through, quit now. Like, life is too hard. It's going to be
right.
much harder than getting a good old razz from me on the internet. Like, there's much more
Right.
awful hardships you're
Right.
going to have to endure.
Right.
If that's what KOs you, I don't know if you're built for this life. You know what
Seriously, if
Literally.
that's what it takes,
That's
if,
what it takes.
girls, if you saying something is what it's going to take for him to become depressed, for him to become suicidal, he shouldn't be alive anyway, because whatever you did was not that bad and he needs to grow up. Nothing you say on TikTok to a misogynist is going to make him damaged.
mean? No,
It's
for
not.
sure.
It's
Like,
not gonna matter.
Nothing you say, like any kind of insult you make about a misogynist looks,
Right.
it's not gonna. It will affect him. He'll never admit that.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna do anything but make him want to call you fat and ugly.
Right.
So like,
So
take it
stop
as a-
feeling guilty.
Take it as a dub. Like,
Stop
if he
feeling
calls you
guilty.
fat and ugly, that means you won, bitch.
Right.
That means you got under that skin. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, anywho, I think
Yeah.
we pretty much established our point. Feel free to be mean if you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I
That's
advocate
right.
for you.
Yeah, be mean.
So does Talia. Where can everybody find you, Talia?
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at Talia Lichtstein, Snapchat at The Influence. It's my Snapchat show.
Love.
Podcast upcoming. That's it.
Look at that. I love that. Thank you so much to Talia. Thank you for coming on my show. You're
Thanks
so
for
funny.
having me.
I adore you.
I'm so happy we finally
One
did
mean
this.
bitch to another.
Seriously. Seriously.
I
This
love
is going to
that.
haunt their nightmares.
No, truly. They're going to be like,
They're going to print out a
"God damn
photo
it."
of this and like throw darts at it. It's a nightmare.
What else
episode.
is new, honestly?
It's fine.
Thank you so much to my very special guest, Talia. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to watch full episodes of the Comment Section Show, they go live every Wednesday on the Past Your Bedtime YouTube channel. And you can also stream our podcast on many different streaming platforms, but especially Spotify. So for those of you who want to watch full episodes, make sure you tune in. Make sure you follow Talia. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Watch new episodes of the Comment Section for free only on Spotify starting April 5th.